Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it's been a week or so since I've last done a Arsenal-based video. As I mentioned in the preview for Leeds United, I was unable to do a reaction to our win over PSV yesterday. I'm recording this on Friday after the night before and the Friday before our game on Sunday. Yeah, I wasn't in the country. I was in Germany for the past 3 days, and there wasn't any ability to watch the game out there. So, So I missed it, and I didn't have any... I was out in the centre of Munich yesterday evening, and it was in the back of my mind that the game was going on, and I know that PSV are a decent side, and that was the team I thought that we'd struggle against the most. Having watched the highlights, and I know the highlights don't do it justice necessarily, but it seemed like we had most of the opportunities, we had most of the possession, we dominated the game. It seemed like they were, and from what I saw from the reaction on from other content creators and from social media and stuff like that, it seemed as if like PSV were kind of playing for the draw, if that makes any sense. It was funny seeing Ruud van Nistelrooy come out before the game saying, I'm going to receive a warm welcome on Thursday because I was the one that made them invincible, because he missed a penalty in the Invincible season right at the beginning. But yeah, no. So we won 1-0. I don't have to tell you that. You probably already know, through a Granit Xhaka goal, which was a great finish, by the way. As I said, I just watched the highlights. And that keeps our record in this season's Europa League at 100%. I think we're top of the group now. As far as I'm aware, I think we are in. Let's see. Yeah, so we're top of the league, top of the group of Group A. Played for, won for, lost none, drawn none. So it looks like if we can get at least a point against PSV on Thursday in Eindhoven, then we should be through to the next round. We won't have to go through the Champions League playing the teams that have dropped out of the Champions League, which is good. So yeah, as I always say, I think I was saying it all of last season and the season before, and since I've started doing this, that like you have to be in it to win it. And I think that we should be taking competitions like this seriously, because this is a backup route, if you like, into the Champions League. But anyway, speaking of Champions League, our pursuit for top 4 continues on Sunday as we go to St Mary's to play Southampton. And it's going to be an interesting game, I think. Southampton are one of those teams that always seem to be, I'd probably say Southampton are probably the most, no disrespect to any Southampton fans that are listening, but they are probably the most mediocre team in the Premier League. In other words, they have days where they're like absolutely brilliant, and Ralph Hasenhüttl looks like a genius, and then there are other days where they look like a championship team and they get battered 9-0 or something like that. So it's a really weird one, and they have good play. Obviously Maitland-Niles is there. They've got people like Che Adams and James Ward-Prowse, who's currently sort of playing for England quite regularly. People like that. So they've got decent players. So it's surprising to see how mediocre they are, and that's the thing. Like for as long as I've been a football fan, which is like since the late 90s, I've always seen Southampton there. Southampton have always been in the Premier League. They've always been like a Premier League mainstay, and no one really talks about them, to be honest, because it's kind of like when you ask other football rival fans or other football fans, who have you got this weekend? They're like, Southampton. Meh. There's no reaction to it, essentially. So yeah, but from what I know and from what I remember, they can be quite decent at St Mary's. Our record there is pretty good, to be honest. But the last time we went there, I think we lost 1-0 to them last season. Let me have a look and remind myself. Yeah, it's quite obvious. We lost 1-0 last season there. I think they were at a point where they'd lost X number of games on the trot and they hadn't scored a goal in so many minutes of open play, and then they play us and they get their goal and they get their 3 points. So there's no reason why that can't happen. That, you know, there's always that fear that could potentially happen again. Looking at the table, they're currently 14th, which, to be honest, is somewhere they always sort of end up. They always end up between like 14th and 16th quite a lot, or like 14th and 11th most of the time, most seasons. Their record in the last 5 hasn't been great, so they've lost 3, drawn 1 and won 1. They lost to Villa, lost to Everton, lost to Man City, drew with West Ham and beat Bournemouth. So, you know, again, similar to Leeds, we kind of go into the game as favourites. One thing I would comment on with the Leeds game, obviously I didn't watch it, but I listened to the commentary on Arsenal.com, and it seemed as if, like, first half, I think I put a tweet out after the game anyway, but I'll just say for clarity, it looked like we controlled the first half and got the goal based on that control. And then second half, it just looked like it was all Leeds. It sounded like it was all Leeds, and we couldn't put passes together and stuff like that. Kept losing the ball in stupid areas and that kind of thing. And the luck of the draw kind of fell in our favour in a way, because there were a lot of, having watched it back, there were a couple of VAR decisions where I was like, okay, yeah, that maybe could have gone another way. I mean, we were lucky to have it overturned, the penalty and the red card overturned with Gabriel and Bamford. But yeah, sometimes, you know, you can't win. As I said after the game, you can't win pretty every week. And this is the problem with modern football fans in general, is that they expect a Barcelona circa 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11 every single week. And unfortunately, you're not going to get that based on, you know, squad rotation, players' tiredness, and that kind of stuff. You're not going to get that. So the fact that we won and we still got the 3 points is absolutely brilliant, despite playing badly, particularly in the second half. So I have a feeling that this will be kind of a similar game. I suppose the benefit is that we played at home in the Europa League on yesterday. So yeah, so it's pretty good for us, I suppose. I don't know. I'm going to say 3-0 Arsenal. I'm going to say. I think we'll win this. That's his famous last words, but I think we're going to win this quite comfortably. But at the same time, I say that, but this could be the game where we could be our second loss of the season. I don't know. They won their last game, so they might be coming off of a high as well. But I do think we're probably going to win this game. I'm going to predict 3-0, just because, you know, our record against Southampton for the most part is pretty good, and yeah, that's it really. Not necessarily based on the form of our season so far, just the fact that, like, our record against Southampton is pretty good. So yeah, 3-0 I'm going to predict. The other news just to touch on is in the last couple of hours is that Gabriel Magalhaes has signed a long-term contract with Arsenal. So that's absolutely fantastic, because we need to keep our best players. I mean, he's been a bit up and down so far this season, but he's still probably he's probably up there with probably is our kind of second best defender behind Saliba right now. So we definitely need to keep him, and if, you know, in the future someone does want to buy him, we need to have that kind of asset sell-on value there. So it's great. Hopefully we can tie down people like Saliba and Saka and Martinelli and players like that going forward, because I think keeping that core team together, you know, of Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tierney / Tomiyasu / Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, Gabriel Jesus, we kind of need to keep that core together for as long as possible, because at the moment it looks like it's working really, really well. And, you know, if we're still in, and as I've said a few times this season so far, if we're still in and around the, you know, first, second position by the time the World Cup comes around, there's no reason why this team can't go on and at least finish in the top 4. So yeah, it's good to hear that we're tying our players down. Right, I'm going to leave that there because I am absolutely knackered. I've been home back in the UK for about 4 hours or so, but yeah, travelling by air definitely takes it out of you. Right, I'll be back again on Sunday, giving my thoughts on the game, hopefully in a good mood, obviously. Enjoy the rest of the simulation, and all that's left for me to say is take care and stay safe.
Well, that takes the wind out of their sails. Great defending.
Well, as those stats tell us, Southampton have been second best in terms of possession, but when they have had it, they've looked so dangerous, particularly when they press high up the field, win the ball back in those areas, and then counter-attack quickly.
Could be a chance to break here. Well, on you go, says the referee. Advantage. Well, he really wants his brace.
Well, he looks so bright today. His movement has been excellent.
Let's see about the delivery. And the danger's still on. Well, nothing comes of it. Gabriel Jesus. Bukayo Saka. An awful lot of green space to run into. And whipped into the box. Not the best clearance. Well, flinging himself at the ball. And now the delivery. It might still be problematic. Xhaka. Nicely timed tackle. Walker-Peters. And if you're wondering about added time, 2 minutes it'll be. And the Saints unable to hold on to the ball. Aribo. Well, there we have it. That brings to an end the first half here at St Mary's. Well, for Gabriel Jesus, a performance that he'll quickly want to forget.
Yeah, he's been well marshalled so far, but he hasn't worked the defenders or the goalkeeper hard enough. He's got to impose himself on this game, otherwise they're going to struggle to get back into this.
So the two teams have switched around and the second half is underway. Not showing good vision. Well, they couldn't quite muster a real threat. Gabriel Jesus. Xhaka with it. Now options are plenty. But it fizzles out thanks to that piece of defending. Elianusi. And fine work from Arsenal to win it back. Bodies forward and the break looks on. Read it well. Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal move it forward with purpose and control. Opportunity it is. And the keeper has denied him.
Well, I've got to say, Derek, he was always in control of that situation. Brilliant stuff.
Played over. Defensive excellence there. Aribo. Adams. This might be ideal for the counter. Well, it fizzled out. Aribo. Well, we're into the final half hour. Committed challenge. Romain Perrault. Really good high press. No way through. Illegal play and hence a free kick. So making the substitution now. That's an effective cross aimed at the back post. But goalkeeper's ball, disappointingly for them. Went in strongly to win the ball. Might be able to get in behind the defence. Will they get themselves level here? Oh, he saved it well. They've decided that now is the time to go to the bench. Trying to deliver it accurately. And the header off target, but resolute defence.
For Arsenal, coming off the pitch, number 9, Gabriel Jesus, to be replaced by number 14, Eddie Nketiah.
Ward-Prowse.
This is a message for
Aribo.
away supporters. Can you please remain
Elianusi.
after the game?
And the referee has awarded the free kick. He tried to play advantage, but it wasn't forthcoming. Well, the referee not messing about. He's cautioned him.
Well, it had to be a yellow card, and he knew it was coming.
Well, that didn't go exactly to plan. And no wonder he's getting a few icy stares from his teammates.
Yeah, that's a complete waste. He was never going to score from there.
And a substitution in the offing. Partey. Nketiah. And he read it well. In a position from which they could potentially do a bit of damage here. Great strong tackle, throw in forthcoming.
Coming off the pitch, number 9, Adam Armstrong, to be replaced by number 17, Stuart Armstrong.
Adams. Strong but fair tackle. Well, the referee wasn't going to let that go. Oh, he's given the ball away. Adams. He's in with a chance. Oh, a save of the highest order.
Well, he got his angles absolutely right. What a good save that is.
Over it comes. A chopping challenge, and the referee has got to have a big think about it. And yellow it is, a booking.
Yeah, he was too impatient to win the ball and probably deserved a yellow card.
Just 10 minutes to go. Tomiyasu. And here they come, still pressing for an equaliser. Martinelli. Good tackle. Stuart Armstrong. Che Adams. Nketiah. Using all his defensive acumen to cut it out. Nketiah. This could level it, but denied by the keeper. And at this late stage of the proceedings, it could be highly significant.
Well, it could be a huge moment, Derek. So little time left now.
To be replaced by number 19, Musa Janeko.
And there's the delivery. Well, not quite the ideal delivery. Really a very poor ball. Che Adams. Romain Perrault. Stuart Armstrong. That's a routine take. Ward-Prowse. It's with Moussa Djenepo. So the final whistle now, and disappointment for Arsenal, you've got to say. A defeat for them. Your assessment?
Well, Derek, certainly not their best performance, was it? Just a little bit off the pace for me, and obviously a disappointing result. But the key thing is they bounce back now, and they can't afford a repeat performance.
Well, I think it's fair to say he'll be happy with his own contribution in this game, Stuart.
Well, I enjoyed watching him today. His work rate, skill and movement were excellent, and he fully deserved to score that winning goal.
Mm.